to talk to you about why I don't ascribe to the symmetrical ideology that what a player can do, an NPC or monster should be able to, and what a monster or NPC should be able to do, the player should also be able to do. And to be clear, the asymmetry or the symmetry that I'm going to be talking about is the line that separates the player side of the table from the GM side of the table. The first point is that the Game Master has infinite resources within the fiction. They have all of the gold, all of the monsters, all of the earth at their disposal, in addition to all of the gods. The players, on the other hand, in most cases, only have a singular PC. All of the resources they have are contained within that player character. Now, while this gives the Game Master a lot of creative privileges, the downside is that there's a burden to having to control that side of the table. You are the one that's responsible for the history and the mythology, the political and social structures of the world. This means you have this kind of dual asymmetry where there's 4 minds on this side of the table, there's 1 mind on this side of the table, there's 4 characters on this side of the table, and there's infinite characters on this side of the table. Now, I do want to take a moment to say that in most TTRPGs, players are not against the Game Master is not against the players, and if that's how the table treats those positions, it can really cause some interpersonal conflict. So I do not recommend that. Now, with that asymmetry defined and a typical TTRPG experience, I want you to consider some abilities that the Game Master could have access to that the players should definitely not, and the players could have access to that the GM definitely should not. Now, the Game Master should not have any ability that outright removes a player from the game. The biggest offender of this is the one-hit kill. Game Master should not be outright killing their characters without any saving throws or defenses. Meanwhile, you take that same one-hit kill ability and put it on the player's side, the GM can always just add more enemies. There's no amount of power on the player's side that the GM cannot handle. Now, the types of abilities that the players should not have that the GM could are those that shape the entire world at once. A good example of this is time travel to the point where you're traveling through different eras. Because remember, the GM is only one person on that side of the table that's responsible for the entire world, all of the socio-political agendas, all of the history, all of the geography. If the players can dart throughout history and the typical RPG does not support this, that is going to put a heavy burden on the Game Master. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments.